Okay, today we're going to revise solving equations that you did in Year 9. Now, sometimes you might have seen this. 3 times what equals 18? Or something plus 4 equals 15. Now, each of these sentences have one value that makes it true. These sentences are called equations, and we use the letter x to represent the unknown number. So this one could be rewritten as 3 times x, but remember times x, you just put the x next to the number, equals 18, and that's an equation, or x plus 4 equals 15. And there is the value of x that makes the sentence true is called the solution. So we're going to go ahead and revise our one-step equations and start with ones that involve plus or minus. There's different methods of solving equations, but we're going to solve by balancing. So think of a set of scales that has a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And if you put something on the left-hand side and it's balanced, it has to be the same on the right-hand side. And so it's balanced, they're equal. So we'll start with x plus 5 equals 7. So x plus 5 is like being on our left-hand side here, and 7 is on our right-hand side over here, and it's balanced. So to keep it balanced, if we do something to one side, if we take 5 off there, we have to take 5 off there as well to keep it balanced. And you have to show you're working, and your goal is to isolate x by itself on the left-hand side. So here we're going to undo the adding 5, so we're going to take away 5, because we only want the x there. Now that leaves the x there because plus 5 minus 5 is 0. So that will go out, but we have to take 5 off the other side as well to keep it balanced. So 7 take away 5 is 2, and we have our solution. And let's try one with a takeaway. Y minus 4 equals 2, so I'm going to undo the subtract 4 by adding 4, but I have to do it to both sides, and so that will just be 0, and 2 plus 4 is 6, so y is equal to 6. Now let's try some one-step equations involving multiplying or dividing. Okay, what does the first one mean? It means 3 times a number equals 12. So we're going to undo the times 3, or 3 times, and we're going to undo that by doing the opposite operation. We're going to divide that side by 3, and so we're going to also have to divide the other side by 3 as well. Now I could write that as, just put a line and put over 3, which is more normal. Now 3 over 3 is 1, cancels to 1. Any number over itself, or letter over itself, equals 1. So we're left with x equals 12 divided by 3 is 4, and that's our solution. Okay, for this one we're going to undo the multiplying by negative 4 by dividing by negative 4. Divide by negative 4, we have to divide the other side by negative 4. We're left with a equals, what's 20 plus 20 divided by negative 4. The signs are different, so we get a minus, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, now you can pause the video at any time and try these by yourself, and then check your answers. Okay, for the next one, there's a 5 underneath. That means it's divided by 5. So we're going to undo the dividing by 5 by doing the opposite. We're going to multiply both sides by 5. Now if there's a number on the top and a number on the bottom that's the same, it's equal to 1. and so we're left with x equals 15, which is what we want. Okay, try the next one. Here we undo the dividing by 2 by multiplying by 2. So multiply both sides by 2, goes to 1, and b equals negative 14. So that's our one-step equations, an example of each. And of course you'll have to go and practice some of those before you go on to two-step equations. Okay, now two-step equations involve both adding and subtracting, and also multiplying and dividing. So here's an example. 5x plus 1 equals 16. Now deal with the number on its own first. So we're going to undo the plus 1 by subtracting 1 from both sides. Now show each step if you're working. 5x equals 15. And then we're going to undo the times 5 by dividing by 5, both sides. And we're left with x equals 3. So this is kind of like practicing both of them together. Do the adding and subtracting first. Okay, we're going to undo the take away 4 by adding 4 to both sides. That goes out. 3x equals negative 1. And now we're going to undo the times 3 by dividing by 3 on both sides. And we've got x equals negative 1/3. So you don't always get whole number answers. Okay, this one looks tricky. Shall we try it? Undo the minus 3 by adding 3 to both sides. Show your next line of working. Now, I'm not going to do anything with that till the next step, so just write it down as you see it. That disappears because it's 0. 15 plus 3 is 18. Now I'm ready to deal with the negative 6 by dividing each side by negative 6, and x equals 18 divided by negative 6 is negative 3. Okay, next question. Now in this question, deal with the dividing one underneath first. So undo the dividing one before you do undo the multiplying one. So to undo the dividing one, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Now 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom disappears, and you're left with 2x equals 12. Now undo the 2 times by dividing by 2, and x equals 6. Great. Okay, see if we can do the last one. Undo the divide by 9 first by multiplying both sides by 9. 9 over 9 goes out, or goes to 1, and so you're left with negative 4x equals 45. Now remember, here the x is multiplied by minus 4, so you're going to divide by minus 4, both sides. That's just 1, and so we're left with x equals negative, because that's a positive and a negative, you get a negative answer. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 5 goes once, and 1 remainder, and so we get an answer of negative 11 1/4. So you see it's not always a whole number. Okay, you need to go to the booklet and practice those examples, and then go to the textbook.